They're Afghan flavor instead of Asian. And they're so funny. They're called shoop. Like doopy doop, doopy doop, doopy 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 doop. That's kind of what I thought of immediately. So shoop. So they are shoop candy, which is kind of funny. Okay. Hello. So we're going to do more of what we did before, basically. More of what we did before. You guys have already seen some of it now, so it should be a little easier. But we're also going to do our quick immune system lesson. All right, so Sydney and Savannah are here. Hello, girls. And we're going to go do this.
400.
Still adding it up over there. All right. Ooh, I think that's my paper. I think that's my paper with y'all's names on it too. So I'm gonna need that event. I'll write them down differently here so I can give you guys points. Sorry we were late, Sid and Sky. We were working on stuff. Cole, James, nobody, Michael, Ethan, Bailey, Alex, Shannon, Piper, and Jack. Everybody's sitting, right? Okay, good. All right, y'all can keep that one. I put your names on this. I have a couple things to hand back real quick. If you gave me anything last week, like the current lab, I did not grade that yet. I'll be grading it with everybody else's, but it's good you got it in. Okay, Cole, that's this you. I'll put it there. Alex, this is you. Whoop, that one's you. Michael.
Thank you.
There, that's you.
So this is the last lab, right?
I think it's the lab before last. This last lab, like I said, I didn't get through that one yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you have it.
Yeah, I do have it from you. I know I saw it.
Awesome.
Sid, I got one for you. No biggie. All right. So, whoa. Here we go. We're going to run through this immune system, and then we're going to go back to more quizzing and studying for our final. Yeah, it's important, right? Everybody's going to do well on it. So we're going to go through the immune system quickly, not just because we have a final to study for, but because it is super complicated. We are just brushing the surface, and you could spend years and years and years studying any particular aspect of it. It's also the least tangible. There's no like anatomical system to memorize, like a tract, a digestive tract or something. It's all cellular microbiology stuff. It's hard to see. So because of that, we're just going to kind of swish through it quickly and move on to our next exciting bit of review. All right, so I've got my coins too. So we're going to start with your innate immune system. Now we talked about innate when we discussed behavior. We had innate behavior. Does anybody know what innate means? James, what's innate? Yeah, you start out with it. You're born with it. Innate. Okay, so innate immunity. This is what you're born with. So the innate immune system is made of defenses against infection that can be activated immediately once a pathogen attacks. The innate immune system is essentially made up of barriers that aim to keep viruses, bacteria, parasites, and other foreign particles out of your body or limit their ability to spread throughout your body. So we have different types. We have a type of barrier. What's the type of barrier that your immune system is going to use? Physical barrier is right. We're going to have a physical barrier. All right. So example would be something like your skin, right? What, cool? Oh. Yeah, well, I will in a minute. So mechanisms. There's a word for this. Did you see it in your notes?
No.
Something mechanism, no? So.
Non-specific.
You got it. Yeah, it's a defense mechanism. It's kind of a non-specific. Sometimes it is, usually. With this system, it's pretty non-specific defense mechanism. And then last, we have general something response. James? General immune response. That's right. Okay. So general immune response. So let's have a look here at the physical barriers. All right. We have physical barriers. We have your skin. It's waterproof, right? You have your function of pH in the GI tract. We have your respiratory tract and the way it's organized, your nasopharynx, your cilia, and then other body hair, Yeah, and eyelashes like those. That guy was a great example of other body hair. I don't know what. I think he's wearing underpants or shorts, but I mean, he's gonna have to have some really stretchy ones to pack all that hair in because that's really gross. So anyway, your skin, obviously, it's waterproof and it's a great barrier because it protects you from all the stuff that you're coming in contact with. You can touch all kinds of awful deadly bacteria with your skin and or viruses too and have no problem. It's when it gets into the other parts of your body, mouth, nose, eyes, that's when you have issues, right? That's also why, this is also why when you have a cut, it can get infected because your skin is broken. Now, the GI tract, this is what your GI tract, this is respiratory. The GI tract looks kind of like this inside. It's got like all kinds of ripply things and all kinds of business. Now, the pH in your stomach, does anybody remember roughly what it is? Yeah, it's about 2. James is right. And why? What acid is in there?
Hydrochloric.
Yeah, hydrochloric acid in your stomach. Okay, the main job of hydrochloric acid in your stomach is not to digest food. It is to destroy foreign invaders, bacteria, viruses. It is secondary action that it dissolves your food. And if you've ever seen hydrochloric acid work on a full piece of food, it works real fast. So it's very efficient, but that is really its secondary purpose. Its primary purpose is protecting you. Now, this would be your respiratory tract, and it has tiny, 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 tiny little cilia down into your bronchioles, bronchi, trachea, all that area.
That's a really detailed camera. That's a tiny camera.
Yeah, it's pretty, I think it's actually a graphic, but it looks darn real, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And then you've also got your nasopharynx. So that's the top part of your pharynx, right? That's like your sinuses and your pharynx where they connect. You have cilia there. Here's cilia, there's cilia. You've also got cilia in your small intestine. Cilia are pretty much in your nose, the hairs in your nose. Cilia are pretty much any kind of hair, typically little tiny microscopic hairs, but not always, that serve to either catch things that don't belong or, like in your small intestine, increase the surface area for absorption. Yeah.
Aren't the cilia in the small intestine?
Aren't they what? Villi? Yeah. Yep.
Also,
Very good.
I went through it like 3 times and
Yeah.
it looks like Drew's team actually won.
Huh, really? That's impressive. All right.
It's because of the 5,000 small.
The 5,001. Yeah.
Versus you getting 7,000.
And then you have other body hair. So eyelashes. So wait. Come back to this over here. So eyelashes. You ever seen the eyelashes on a cow or a camel or an elephant? They're huge, right? And what are they, for an elephant or for a cow, what are they trying to keep away? Flies, right. How about a camel? Yes, okay, good. So that's the purpose of that. And I love cow's eyes. Cow's eyes are so pretty. You look at them up close, they have this big eyelashes and this big eyes. They look so pretty. And you back up and you're like, oh, your feet are gross. Right? Yeah. Pretty cool though. So then past your physical barriers, click, come on, click. What's the deal? Click. There you go. You get into these defense mechanisms. So you have secretions like mucus and bile. Oh, this video is great. It's a great video. Gastric acid, saliva. These are all defense mechanism secretions and tears. So
Yeah, and when it says
So tears are gonna wash stuff out of your eyes. You know that if you get something in your eye, they tear up immediately. And mucus is gonna catch stuff, right? That's the point of it, is to catch stuff and then hopefully it'll ooze out. And then, like we said, your gastric acid. Now, bile is primarily there to emulsify fat, but it will also kill some stuff. Hi, baby boy. And then this is a great video. I don't think it's the world's biggest booger, but it's a very impressive one. Huh? Yeah, I don't think they have proof, but it's super impressive. So watch and enjoy. So you'll notice they are using a nasal speculum and then a great pair of like right angled forceps. Or not quite right angled, but
you have to go to get.
oh yeah, he's getting it pulled out because he can't get it out of his nose. Basically, his nose is totally clogged up. You'll see why. Look at how deep in they have to go. Oh, makes you want to sneeze just watching it.
All right. So you want to like.
Another secretion not listed here is earwax. You ever watch the videos of things getting pulled out of people's ears? Oh,
No.
here we go.
I've never watched.
Here we go. Hello.
Check that out.
I want to check it out.
You wonder why I was uncomfortable.
Nasty.
I had to go for
How you feel?
A lot better on this side. My eyes are watering.
Stop it now.
Pause for now.
Good guy.
I mean, yeah, very brave. No, that's all he's got.
I'm just gonna pause for now.
Yeah, pause for now. He said whoever's recording.
Oh.
He goes, so your general inflammatory immune response, response is your inflammatory response. So your inflammatory response is going to bring your immune cells to the site of an infection. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring extra lymph, right? They're going to increase your blood flow. Then you have your complement immune system, and that's going to respond. It's going to mark pathogens for destruction, and it's going to actually make holes in the cell membranes of pathogens so that they die. Now, if you have an infected spot somewhere, like you get a cut on your finger and it gets infected, it swells, it turns red. What else happens to it? What if you touch it? It hurts, but how else does it feel to you when you touch it? It's warm. Why is it warmer?
Because there's more blood.
Because there's more blood, right? Okay, so it's hot because there's more blood. You've increased your blood flow to that area, and it's also a byproduct of that is you're increasing the temperature in that area, and that can make it difficult for some pathogens. You ever see them ooze lymph? Lymph is the clear stuff, the clear yellow sticky stuff that comes out sometimes. You've seen it. And then pus and whatnot, those are like the white blood cells that are left over. They've done their job and now they're dead, and they're a mixture of lymph and whatever else is there. So if you are diabetic, for example, this is a common one, diabetics can have poor circulation in their toes, which puts them at risk for foot infections. So if they get like a cut or whatever, or their toenail grows the wrong way, grows in, or they're clipping their toenails and they cut themselves, they can get a really bad infection. And that actually can lead to like gangrene and then loss of that particular appendage. So a lot of people with diabetes that have the foot circulation problems will go to either like a trusted pedicurist or a doctor or a nurse just to do their nail clipping on their feet, because it can be super dangerous and you don't want to. Thanks, Cole, for demonstrating mucus.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a secretion.
Thank you, Michael. So
Oh, yeah.
on the topic of immune response and secretions, anybody watch, you can admit it, anybody watch Dr. Pimple Popper or like any of those videos? None of y'all do? Some of my juniors were like, yeah, it's actually one of those things that to human beings tends to be either really gross or super satisfying.
Myself is one thing, but watching other people.
But it's super satisfying for some people because it's like you're taking the bad stuff out and you're restoring the health to that area of skin or whatever. And it's kind of like, oh, that's awesome. Look at that big blackhead she got out or whatever, right? There's tons of zit and cyst popping videos on YouTube. But I was going to recommend to you guys, if you find any of that satisfying, like some people do, or you're just interested, there is a guy, my brother-in-law got me addicted to this site. It's called Hoof GP, Hoof like HOOF GP, like a doctor, Hoof GP, and he's out of Scotland. He's this cute Scottish guy with a big old Scottish accent. He's got his little Scottish kids with him sometimes. And he has a big truck with a giant trailer, and a big, let's say it's a Ford, but a giant trailer in a big Scottish garage and a big Scottish house, and he goes to Scottish farms. But like the dude is loaded from cleaning and repairing cow hooves and having an awesome YouTube channel. So what he does is he goes to farms, and the cows and the bulls, all the cattle, they walk around in mud and yuck all day, right? And sometimes they step on things like gravel or nails, or like one time I saw another cow's tooth, but they step on them and they can get embedded in their hoof, and then it causes a major infection, or they can just get a crack in their hoof. Their hoofs are like nails, right? But like where your nail is like this little thin, like kind of a planer thing that you can cut this way, cows have these, they have two little hoofs, two little sections to their hoof, right? Like this. And so it's two toes, and they grow a big nail on each one that goes outward, right? So that's the hoof. So you can actually, he takes the thing that looks like a floor sander and he over the bottom of their hoofs. He puts them in this apparatus that like lifts their foot up and turns it towards him. So he shaves it off and he can shape it like they're supposed to have a nice shape to them. And he makes sure that they're level so that when they're walking, like one part of their foot's not going the wrong way because their nails grow like yours do, right? So he'll buff them down and shape them. And that's mostly what he does. But sometimes he gets infected cows. He has this tool. It's a knife, but it has this little hook on the end. And it's like butter. He grabs the hoof and he slices. It's like slicing through butter. And it can peel off and get down to infection. And it's really kind of interesting. So if you're interested at all in like veterinary medicine, or if you like the pimple popper stuff, this may be cool for you. But he's a neat dude and he does neat stuff. And now he's rich because of it. So there you go.
Good job.
So you have internal defenses. This should have been another sentence right here about interferons, but I messed it up. So what engulfs pathogens? Do you know what those are? You know, James? Yeah, macrophages, man, you are good. So your macrophages are what are going to engulf your pathogens, and your interferons are proteins secreted by infected cells that signal neighboring cells to start defending themselves. So macrophages, you see this word phage, right? That's eating. Remember you had like phagocytosis that kind of has that word in it. And then there's all kinds of other cells that have phage in it.
Bacteriophage.
Bacteriophage. Yeah. These guys right here, they're macro, so they eat big things. So they eat the pathogens themselves. So these are cells here that hold histamines, cause blood vessels to dilate, bring extra blood, which causes swelling in the tissue, attract phagocytes, which are the ones that come and eat, and help deal with infection. Yeah.
Blood cells.
Not blood cells.
Yes, blood cells.
These are actually mast cells. So you're talking about, these are all like types of white blood cells as a general rule. So with COVID, one of the things that was happening in some people is they were having what they call mast cell storms. And it just basically means your mast cells are out of control. Production is out of control, function is out of control. So if you see what they do here, they have histamines that cause blood vessels to dilate, bring in extra blood, swelling. Think about how that would affect you if you had this going on for your entire body. Everything's swelling up, everything's getting like hot and gross and yuck. And so you don't want that. Yeah.
With enough of that, would you pop like a grape?
Not pop like a grape, but it can kill you. It absolutely can kill you. It's not good stuff. So what are the cells here that destroy infected or cancerous cells? Do we know what those are? Killer? Yeah, natural killer cells or killer T. James is on. James likes the immune system apparently. So it's your project. There you go. So killer cells. I love this. There are different kinds. There are some that have letters, but as a group, they're natural killer cells. Oh, shoot. Drew played with my Nerf gun, so you might get lucky over there, Ethan. I see your eyes are getting heavy.
I'm chilling.
Drew stole my Nerf gun while I was out of town this weekend. Yeah, but I got no darts in it because he stole it. Yeah, yeah. So immune response. What response here? Yeah.
Inflammation.
Yeah. Inflammatory response is the pain and swelling that occur upon injury or infection. So let me ask you this. Why is it necessary, or why would your body evolve for pain to you to be part of this response?
So you don't further injure it?
That's it. So you don't further injure it. And there's something else. Can you think of something else?
So you know it's been injured?
So you know it's been injured. That's it. So you know you got a problem and you don't further injure it. It would be dumb if you just kept banging your injured finger into something and cracking it open more, right? If you've ever had a really, really badly inflamed spot, you know how bad it hurts, right? You don't want to mess with it.
Like you don't even use it.
Yeah, right. So acquired immunity. So we just talked about innate. Now we're going to talk about acquired. So acquired immunity is a defense response that you have to develop by a previous exposure to the pathogen. So what might be an example of that? Well, like what's a pathogen that might require?
The common cold.
There you go, your common cold. Exactly. Yep. You're not going to have an immune response to it because you haven't come into contact. Yeah.
Bubonic plague.
That's a good one too. Yeah. Okay. We can name a million. So we'll end it there, Michael. We'll keep going for hours. All right. So your acquired immunity. All right. You have your lymphocytes. These are your white blood cells, B cells. They mature in your bone marrow. Shh, guys. You have these recognition antigens. You have major recognition histocompatibility complex. and you have like clonal selection. So we're not going to get too specific about these, but you have all different types of mechanisms within your immune system, let alone all the different types of cells. And you can think of them, sometimes it helps, like if you're really studying immune system and you're going to have like a big, very detailed immune system test, sometimes, at least in my head, when I was doing it, it helped to give each of these types of cells sort of like a an anthropomorphic job. Okay, like these are the guys that make the grenades. These are the guys that throw the grenades. Like, you know, you can go through your head and you can come up with ways to have them make sense, because it gets really, really complex. Some of them tag, some of them recognize what's been tagged, others make the tag for ones to tag. It gets very, very involved. So your acquired immunity, again, you have your primary immune response. This is clonal selection, the primary immune response. It hits its peak, it depends, 10 to 17 days after infection. That's a general average, but it really depends. And then your secondary response, this is its peak 2 to 7 days after exposure, and they can last longer. So this is all for different things. You got your lymphocyte Bs, cytotoxic Cs. You can tell what those are. Cytotoxic, right? They're going to kill things, right? Helper Ts, humoral response. This is an interesting one. I'll come back to that in a second. And then your cell-mediated response. Yeah.
I think I found a brownie point.
What'd you find?
Primary immune response. Shouldn't there be something between response and it?
Primary immune response. Clonal selection is the primary. Oh, there should be a comma, I guess,
Comma,
but
period.
yeah.
He's like, I just want.
I'm not even picky anymore because y'all got one more day. So, all right. Humoral response. So humoral response says clonal selection of B cells usually fights pathogens that are not yet in cells. Antibodies targeted can neutralize pathogens or make targets for phagocytes. Okay. The reason this is interesting to me is that this term right here, I'm not even sure why they chose it, but this is an old medical term. We're talking like back to the Greeks, ancient Greeks medical term. They believed in humors. Anybody heard of these? You have different humors in your body. You have bile and you have, what were they? There's like, they're colors too, and bile, blood. Yeah.
There's like 2 different types of bile.
Yeah. There's, yellow and some, yeah. But anyway, they used to really think that these humors, and there were only a handful of them, basically amounted to all the systems within your body and how they work. So if something goes wrong with one system, then they would just say, oh, you have, it's your bile humors that are off, because they didn't know what they were talking about. But as time evolved, we were working from that model. So you can actually kind of trace some things back, at least the process of practicing medicine, you can trace back to how that began. So it's kind of cool. And I don't know why they chose that there, but so one other thing about acquired immunity, you can get your acquired immunity by either coming in contact with something yourself, right? We all know this from COVID. Coming in contact with someone who has it and you catch it airborne. But there's also another way you can get antibodies from another human. Do you know?
Oh, from another, I thought you were gonna say vaccinations.
Oh, I was going to get there next, but yeah, do you know?
Blood transfusions.
Blood transfusions is one way, but there's one other. Yeah. You were born with them. So what does that mean? Where'd you get them from? Your mother, right? So you can transfer some. You can transfer some through the placenta, but there are a lot of antibodies that are transferred through breast milk. So that's one way in which manufactured formula can be really, really close to breast milk, chemically speaking, but they can't replace the antibodies that are getting passed on. So a breastfeeding mother does give her child some extended immunity. A lot of them are not long-term, obviously, because like if your mom had the polio vaccine, she's not going to breastfeed you and you're not going to get polio, but it's some things. And it's usually the common cold type things that are floating around, things that she's been exposed to recently, because you don't necessarily keep antibodies forever and ever for some things. For some things you do, for other things you don't. So yes, vaccines is the other way. So a vaccine is when you've got a deadened or weakened version of a virus or whatnot that they put into your body recognizes that that's new, creates the appropriate antibody, and the next time you come in contact with it, it's got your antibody and you're ready to go. Yeah.
One of the ones you don't keep permanently is tetanus.
Yep, that's one you don't keep because you got to get boosters, right?
Around 10 years or so.
Yeah, every 10 years they require a tetanus booster. That is correct. What does tetanus cause if you get it?
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. You ever seen paintings of this from back in the day? People that suffered from tetanus and got lockjaw?
Probably, but I don't.
It's horrid. Anybody know how you get tetanus?
Rusty.
Specifically,
Puncture
Something
wounds.
pointy and rusty.
Stephanie, okay, puncture wounds, rusty things, specifically puncture. Yeah. Yep. Cutting is not so bad. Deep puncture wounds on old, dirty, rusty metal, that's where you're gonna get tetanus. And lockjaw is exactly what it sounds like. It's not just your jaw, it's all of you, but the jaw starts first and you can't move it, open it, nothing, eat, drink. Yes.
So don't be the guy from Home Alone and step on the nail.
Uh-huh. So allergies,
I think you forgot one way to
What?
transfer diseases
oh,
between humans.
you can't transfer, well, I said that, come in contact with somebody else who has it. You can do it, obviously, there's different ways. Some are airborne, some are what you call enteric. That means you have to take it into your digestive system through the top end, but typically it's already come out somebody else's from the bottom end, things like E. coli. Like, did you notice over there, I showed you those two handles, the right and the left handle from the bathroom sink? They're much dirtier than the one from the kitchen sink because what's going on in the bathroom? And then you're turning on the handles, right? So there's that. And then obviously any kind of body fluid. So blood transfusion, sexual body fluids, all these things will get you. So allergies are basically an exaggerated response, a hugely exaggerated response to a trigger, something that doesn't belong in your body. You're not supposed to have pollen in your nose. It doesn't belong in your trachea, but your body could go, pollen, or your body could go, oh, hands on deck. And that's what an allergy is. It's when your body's like freaking out over something it really shouldn't freak out over. So lastly, autoimmune. Somebody break down the word. What is it? Autoimmune. No, wait, Piper was going.
Automatic. When you
Something close.
Auto means self,
Mm-hmm.
immune system.
Yep. So what would this mean?
It's when your immune system thinks you're an invader and it
Uh-huh.
attacks itself or the other parts of
When
the
your body attacks yourself. Okay. So autoimmune diseases, sometimes the immune system turns certain molecules in your own body, turns against itself. Classic examples, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. RA is the one that you can get rheumatoid arthritis at different ages even. But that works against your cartilage. That's pretty awful when your immune system starts eating your cartilage, right? Not good. A lot of these that are considered, they're not all, but a lot of these autoimmune diseases fall into the category of inflammatory connective tissue diseases. So that's things like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Sjogren's syndrome, mixed connective tissue disease, undifferentiated connective tissue disease, things like that. Lupus is actually sort of the generic term. There's different kinds of lupus. There's lupus that's discoid lupus that shows up on skin. Ta-da! That's what I've dealt with the last 2 years. That can or cannot be associated with what you call systemic lupus erythematosus. That's SLE. That's lupus as the disease. So I unfortunately, whatever weirdness, have 2 at the moment that I'm dealing with, right? Because I've got the lupus stuff going on. It's technically UCTD, but it leans so much towards lupus. Most people would call it lupus. But if my doctor puts lupus in my paperwork, then guess what happens to my insurance? Right. So since we don't have any of the DNA tags that would definitely give me away, years ago, they would have just put lupus in the paperwork because that tells everybody how to treat it. But then this nerve thing I got in my shoulder recently, this Parsonage-Turner thing, that's also an autoimmune. Your whole body turns against, in particular, your brachial plexus, and it goes crazy. So interesting story. Yesterday, I had 2 doctor appointments. I had my neurologist in the morning for follow-up here. I had my regular osteopath, my regular doctor, follow-up everywhere else and fill him in here. So neurologist, being neurologist, he had a med student with him and he was super excited to show him all of his stuff and do all of his things. And since I got weird stuff going on, which you don't see often, because PTS is 1 to 3 out of every 100,000. So that's uncommon. He sees like, what do you say, five a year? Yeah. So not super common. So they wanted to do all the nerve conductivity things again. So I told him my hand's been getting numb. It's worse in the morning. I want to shake it out. It's weird. I don't know why it is. So he puts first he puts the little electrodes on and sends the little waves. You get, hand starts moving or whatever. Almost instantly he goes, you have carpal tunnel. Not super bad, but carpal tunnel. So that explains the weakness, and the numbness that I keep getting here. Okay. He's like, put a brace on, you'll probably be fine. Okay. So he checks all this. He's like, all this is fine over here. That's what this problem is. He was worried that whatever was over here might also be over here. Maybe he had the diagnosis wrong. And so we went to check this arm. Said something was a little slow through my elbow, but he wouldn't even shake a stick at it. Right. So then he goes over here, does the same thing, zip, 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 zip. And then he does his favorite thing, which is stick all the needles in, right? Remember I told you last time I had 19? That's when they did one arm and tested just one muscle over here. Did both arms this time. So I lost count. I'm thinking somewhere in the upper 20s, but I really just kind of gave up. So this is not fun and I don't want to do it anymore. So you can see like I've got all the bruises there. These are my favorites. They do one here, they do one here, there. Ones on my neck and back are lovely. I've got nice bruises all over my neck and back where they got me. So anyway, he keeps saying to me, because I'm saying this still hurts. And he's like, well, this muscle, this pronator teres, he's like, I'm getting a better reading this time than last time. So it's starting to heal. I said, that's super. Why do I still hurt? Well, you shouldn't still hurt. And I said, I think there's some inflammation. Well, there shouldn't be. That would be really uncommon. And I was like, okay, so I get what you're saying, but like, I don't usually follow normal disease progression because I have all this inflammatory business in my body all the time. So I'm thinking there's still something going on there. And he's like, no, I think it'll be fine. You just need to give it time. So then I asked him the question and I found his response so interesting. I really like the guy, but I said, how often do you see Parsonage-Turner syndrome along with lupus? And he said, I see lupus I see Parsonage-Turner syndrome so many times a year. Never said how often he sees it with lupus because I'm thinking he hasn't seen it with lupus. And I'm thinking not too many people have because you take one kind of rare and one super rare and slap them together. He doesn't, no, he hasn't seen it. I'm sure he hasn't seen it. So I go back to my doctor and I'm telling him everything. And my doctor is awesome. And he goes, well, I knew you were coming. And he starts pulling out paperwork. He read 3 studies, 1 from Korea, 2 from the US, that talked about extended inflammation, how to treat it. There was a very regimented steroid regimen. It was like a certain milligrams for a certain number of days. Then you move to this number for this number of days. It was really, really specific. And they went from like 33% of people who didn't resolve to 11%. So that's much better. I'll hopefully be in that 22%, right? So he immediately says, no, I know you live in inflammation. This is inflammation. Whereas the neurologist was like, nah, I don't know, because he can see the nerve stuff. He's happy. It's better. I'm like, well, I still hurt though, a lot. Like, So my doctor even gives me the articles. Take these home, read them. These are great. He's going to call the guy, he says. But when I told him about this was the most interesting, when I told him about carpal tunnel, and I said, guy told me try and sleep with your elbow straight. I don't know how you do that. Can you keep a part of your body in a certain position when you sleep? I'd have to brace it, right? I mean, what? You sleep with your elbow straight?
Sleep on your stomach, go like this.
No.
No.
So I told him, I said, well, here's my problem. I'm usually a side sleeper. Sometimes I'm a back sleeper, but I'm usually a side sleeper, and I usually rotate. But I said to him, since November, I have not really been able to sleep on my right because my left hurts so bad that I have to extend my arm under the pillow and lay on it. Because if I do that on my right, then this arm hangs down and that hurts. And he said, so wait, so when you're laying like this on your right, where's your left arm? And I said, like this. And he said, oh, you mean bent all night? And I said, yeah. And he said, and you wonder why I have carpal tunnel? He's like, so this caused that. And he's right. This caused that. Whereas the neurologist looked at this as completely unrelated. Oh, it's just carpal tunnel. Never thought to ask about, that's the difference between an osteopath and a neurologist. The osteopath is a holistic, whole body, look at the whole package. Neurologist is look at the numbers on the screen, right? So it's pretty interesting. 2 completely different perspectives from 2 completely different practitioners. So these are common autoimmune diseases. Yeah, lots, right? Some of them you've heard of, some of them you haven't. Like you've probably heard of, let me see, what are some of these? Well, no, you probably heard of Crohn's disease. That's a pretty common one. Discoid lupus, I just mentioned, right? You may have heard of Hashimoto. That's a thyroid problem. Eczema?
No, other side. That might be.
Pandas?
Pandas.
Yeah, pandas actually, it actually follows strep. It stands for something really long, but it actually follows strep and it can be really rough. There's my parsonage Turner right there. Mm-hmm. So you have all these things. There's my undifferentiated connective tissue disease, vasculitis. I have a friend whose son has pulmonary vasculitis. His lungs just start bleeding for no apparent reason. It's terrible. Yeah.
Clearly, Parsonage Turner, your body just says you needed PT.
You would think, right? You would think, but it doesn't. That would be nice. So here's the list. Anybody can get it. A lot of people will have some form in their life. Some are permanent. You live with them. Others come and go. It really depends. But I'm curious. I would love for my doctor to do a study. Like, how often do these other types of autoimmune diseases show up with people who have like the connective tissue inflammatory diseases? Because I'm sure there's got to be, logically, you think there'd be more, you know. So let's go on to our Jeopardy game. Now, you guys did everything from like, well, you did everything, all the 5s, 6s, and 7s you did.
Not almost all the 4s.
So you probably want to look at your 4s again and your,
What is the integumentary system?
you're so funny. Oh, there we go. Wait, continue. All right, so this is exactly where we left off. So we can do these. And this time I'll just go person. No, I'll do teams. Should I do teams or should I go person by person? What do you want? Person by person. So keep your personal score. So I'll start with James and I'll move that way. So James, what do you want?
Ecology.
Ecology 4? 400. A natural resource that is easily and quickly replenished is a
Wait, can we steal from him?
let him spit it out.
Sustainable.
You're spitting it out. You almost had it. He's trying to pull it out. That's gonna be renewable. Okay, really, you were so close. You're like, all right, Michael, what are you going with?
Fungi 400.
Fungi 400. Root-like structure of a mushroom. It's
Next
called
one.
what? Next one.
Plants 400.
Ah, come on. Root-like structure of a mushroom.
Hype?
Mhm. That's gonna be your high pay.
Michael's at 11,000 points, guys.
Yeah, look at that. Michael is killing it today. All right, Cole.
Body systems part 1, 400.
Body systems part 1, 400. All right. This system is responsible for the production of hormones in order to regulate a wide variety of bodily functions.
The only reason the one that's getting me here is the menstrual cycle. I'm just checking where this is one that goes between both people. It's just in,
Yes.
in the case of females, it does menstrual cycle.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Is that exocrine? Cool. The endocrine?
Yeah, endocrine.
Exocrine, no,
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Heads up, Sydney and Savannah, we'll come to you after we do Jack. So it'll be Piper, then Jack, then you, just so you know. They probably just said hello. Oh, wait, I know someone who was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis when they were 5. Yep, there is a juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, JRA, awful.
Who is next? Is it Bailey?
Next is Ethan, then Bailey. All right, Ethan.
How to science 400.
How to science 400. I really liked that noise you made.
Oh.
1 milliliter is equal to this many liters.
Is it 0.0? Wait, is it milliliters?
1 milliliter is equal to this many liters. Hey, way to go. All right, give yourself points in your head there. Bailey. Ecology for 3.
Plants.
A group of different species that live together in a defined area is called this.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the graph. You know, where
Yeah, tigers.
yeah.
Oh, Coca-Cola.
Did you just say Coca-Cola?
He did. Do you know Bailey? Anybody know?
Community.
That's community. Yep. All right.
Can I get those points or not?
No, just, all
No. what?
Sorry.
right. How about you then, Alex? What are we going for?
Stupid. What else are you gonna call it?
Cool.
Evolution for 400.
Evolution, 400. The finches on the Galapagos Island were similar in form except for variation of their beaks. Darwin observed that these variations were useful for this.
Making out.
I'm pretty sure that's not the answer.
That was recorded for eternity on Zoom. I want to make that. I'm going to make that into a tiny little meme or something for your mother. Making out, making out, making out. Just let it repeat. Yes. All right.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that.
they are
I
specifically
did that. I'm not gonna-
Cool,
they're
Michael.
designed best for whatever food.
There you go. Yeah.
was
Feeding. Yep. You're going there.
Most common on the island.
Right.
Common foods
I definitely
on
Yep.
each island.
Feeding. All right. Shannon,
Wasn't quite sure what they asked, but as I'm doing Darwin.
you got it. All right. Shannon, what you think?
The cell.
The cell for 100.
Yes,
All right.
I'm not confident. That's good.
This is the chemically opposite or reverse process of cellular respiration. I know you know it.
Can do it. My brain.
Chemically opposite of cellular respiration.
Who does cellular respiration?
Congratulations, you just done.
Give me a
cellular
minute.
respiration.
Let her think. You give up,
I know.
Brain.
Bailey? Photosynthesis. There you go. Yep.
Fake Bailey.
Yep.
Bailey or
Thick Bailey.
I don't even understand how that Bailey was the answer. I can't.
You'll see that the graph is in your the graphic is in the slideshow for you. All right, Miss Piper, what are we gonna go for?
Cell for 400.
The cell for 400. Okay. All cells possess these two things. Ooh, this one's tricky.
Over 100 things is easy.
Wait, everybody think about this one. This is tricky. All cells.
Easy.
You want to take a guess at any of them?
What is cell membrane cell and mitochondria?
You're real close. Membrane's one of them. Anybody want to guess?
Membrane enclosed nucleus.
It's actually going to be
Or
DNA.
No.
DNA. That's going to be a tricky one. So remember that one because that one's kind of hard.
I'm so upset that I knew that one. That was 400.
All right, Jack, what you got?
That's so sad.
Amphibians and reptiles for 300.
Amphibians and reptiles for 300.
That's animal being.
Okay, this type of learning occurs when did I click the wrong thing?
Yeah, but that's fine.
Oh, no, pick the one you wanted. Hang on, amphibians and where is that? There. No, you said 300. Yeah, sorry. Okay, this amphibious organism in the order Anura may be mostly terrestrial or mostly aquatic, but all have hearts with this many chambers.
Is that a double question?
So that's a double.
No, I don't need to know what the amphibian is. I just need to know how many. So it's an amphibian in the order Anura. It can be mostly terrestrial or mostly aquatic, but all of them have a certain number of chambers in their hearts.
What is?
What is the number?
No. Anybody want to guess, Shannon?
3.
Three. So we're talking about frogs and stuff here. And they have frogs and toads are in Anora.
Maybe I just go.
And they all have 3 chambered hearts. Very good, very good. All right, girls, are we ready?
Girls?
Sydney,
Oh. I'm like, what? Did we separate it?
Yep,
Okay.
here we go. Everybody's kind of on their own team.
There are no teams.
Yeah, you just get to pick.
Fend
You're
for
all
yourself.
wrong.
Fend for yourselves. Don't come near me. I've already had to win a game.
So wait. So what do you, who's picking, Sydney or Savannah? And what are you picking? Let's give them a sec.
Yeah, just a bit tight.
They have to type it in, or they could turn their microphone on, and just tell us. Give them a second. Okay, Sydney picks how to science for 300. And I'm going to give Sydney a good couple seconds to respond so y'all don't get noisy, okay? Because you got to type. Using your senses to gather information is called this. And you don't have to say what is because that takes long to type. Just type in your answer.
If he gets annoyed, hit him with
Gonna let her answer. Observation, she says. And ding, ding, ding. Go away. Go away. There we go. Why is it not giving me the answer? Hello. She's right. Observation. Very good. All right. So, Savannah, what are you going to pick? What are you doing, Cole?
Yawned like a dozen times in the last
You
5
can't
minutes.
stop
You
yawning,
can't
it's
stop.
hilarious.
Wake up. Yeah, and Savannah's picking.
Coffee. I did one of those coffee.
Savannah picks how to science for 100. And again, you don't have to type what is or who is, just type your answer. Okay, this is the approach to seeking knowledge that involves forming and testing a hypothesis in a way that is in a logical and systematic way. All right.
Systematic.
Automatic, hydromatic. Okay, give her a chance. We're breaking into Grease Lightning, which is, by the way, the filthiest song. That song is filthy.
Hydromatic cardboard.
All right, give Savannah a minute. Scientific method. She is correct. All right, Savannah. Scientific method is the right answer. Yay. All right. I'm gonna shrink you back down again. All right, so we're back to James. Where are we going, James?
Africa.
Don't fail, James. So first you go to Mars, then you're going to Africa.
Microbiology.
Micro, 400. Bovine spongiform encephalopathy and Kuru are examples of this type of infection. I knew you'd know it. Prion, that's right. Very, very good. All right. Michael.
I choose. Genetics 400.
Genetics 400. Shh, you guys. Genetics 400. Autosomes are diploid, while these are haploid.
Gametes.
Gametes, right? Gametes are sex cells. Perfect. You got it. All right, Cole, you're up. What you gonna pick? I don't know. Oh, gametes.
Body systems. Are gonna be questions.
Body parts. Okay. This system provides a filtration of blood and elimination of unnecessary compounds and waste by producing and excreting urine and sweat. Excretory system. Very good. All right. All right, Ethan.
Animal behaviors 400.
Animal behaviors for 400. This type of behavior, also called an instinct, is fully functional the first time it is performed, although the animal has no previous experience with the stimulus. Guys. You don't know? Anybody know? What?
Innate behavior.
Innate. Yeah, like an instinct, innate behavior. Good job. All right, Bailey, you're up. What you gonna go for? Ecology for 200. Okay, weather describes day-to-day atmospheric conditions, while this describes the weather over a long period of time. Wait, let Bailey go. Climate, Bailey's got it. Good deal. All right, Alex.
Non-coordinates part 2 400.
Non-coordinates part 2, 400. Okay. Despite having 8 legs instead of 6, spiders fall into this phylum. Y'all are so funny. Everybody's like, whoa.
They're arachnid.
Yep.
Or if they came 1 point, they were.
Do you know, or do you want somebody else to give it a shot?
Don't know the phylum.
All right, anybody want to give it a shot? Shannon, you look like you knew.
I remember the name, don't remember how to pronounce it.
Oh,
Oh.
Arthropoda. Oh. It's all about those segmented body parts, head, thorax, abdomen, jointed appendages, all that good stuff. All right, Shannon, where are we going? Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. Sorry.
Why do you want a foot?
What's it gonna be?
Body systems.
Body
part 2.
foot. You just
Body systems part 2, 200. This system provides for the mechanical and chemical degradation of food with the purpose of absorbing it into the body and using it as energy. Shannon. Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. You freeze when you're asked questions.
Yeah. no matter what, even if I know the answer, it's freeze. And
Shannon, what's your birthday? Yeah, exactly.
That's how I am with questions like that. So I'm
Right?
like, what's your name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your day of birth?
At least yesterday.
Of food. Take out the whole bit about mechanical and chemical.
Okay.
System provides for food. Can we all let her in on it? It's a funny thing when you're called. It's a funny thing when you're called on. When I worked at cottage school, so like all my students had at a bare minimum ADHD, and most of them had other stuff on top of it, dyslexia, dysgraphia, OCD, Tourette's, right? All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And we had told, I mean, teachers were trained not to point at people. You wait for a hand to go up. You don't just point at people. And so this math teacher did not get it. He was such a math guy, a logical linear guy, that he couldn't understand why if you ask a question, someone just can't provide the answer. He didn't stay there very long, but he asked some, he gave a math problem, like a simple one. It was like, what's 3 times 4? And the class stared at him and he pointed at a random kid and that kid blurted out, carrot. And it was like, and here we are, like, this is why we're at this school, carrot. And, you know, that's what comes to you. Okay, Piper, what are we going for?
I can't see.
Oh, that helps. All right, now what?
Cell 300.
The cell, 300. A prokaryotic cell lacks this.
Please don't.
She's thinking. She's thinking. She's thinking.
A nucleus bound member.
Yeah, membrane-bound nucleus. Good job. Good job. Everybody's like, this one you all should know. Always. This is a big one. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Because those are your domains. Like you gotta know eukaryote, prokaryote. Those are important. Okay, Jack's got the homie hat.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going for, homie?
Found out hat this way blocks my brain.
All right,
I'll take the cell for 200 out.
the cell for 200. I'm now Alec. He's dead. Active transport.
That's
I'd rather be Maya and Violet. Can I be her? All right. Active transport across a membrane requires this. I didn't answer.
I know.
Don't be overly specific. Just what's required to get anything across a membrane if it's active.
A beacon.
You're close, but be less specific. Can you do it? Yes, energy. Who did it? Who did it? All right, let's see, girls. Let's go. Sydney, you can go first. What you gonna pick? Sydney picks ecology for 100. All right. All life on Earth exists in this. Let's give her a minute. Give her a minute.
The atmosphere.
Shush, no.
Stratosphere.
The biosphere, she says. Is she right?
Yeah.
She is right. Excellent. All right, Miss Savannah, you're up next. What you gonna pick? What you gonna pick? Genetics for 100. All right, Savannah. These are different forms of a gene. Alleles, she says. Is she correct?
Yeah.
She is correct. Way to go, Savannah. Well, I don't know. They could be just looking them up for, I trust them. All right, so we are going back to the beginning again. James, where are we headed?
Let's do non-chordates.
Non-chordates
Yes,
for
I read
part
that.
1 for 400, right? All right. Stay with us, Ethan. Stay with us. Ethan, I love you. Stay with me, Ethan.
I'm chilling.
All right. All right.
Don't go into the light.
There are 3 phyla of worms. Flatworms, roundworms, and segmented worms, which belong to this phylum, James. Okay. Let James
by the time I'm around,
Hush, hush, Cole, zip it. James is thinking.
I've definitely traded.
Yeah, yeah, you have. You want to pass and see if anybody knows? Okay, anybody know? Think back, think back. We dissected one. Analyta. Remember? What's the analyta you guys are most familiar with?
Light helmets.
No,
Annalita.
earthworms. Platyhelminths are your flatworms. Good guess there.
We dissected those.
Yes, but they weren't your segmented worms. All right, Michael, what are we going for? Yes, we were.
400 plants.
400 plants. All right. Seedless vascular plants include club moss, horsetails, and these.
Ferns.
All right, Michael says ferns. Michael is right. Moving on. Cole.
Government that.
I'll check the last how to say
Government.
How to science for 200. In an experiment, this is what you keep the same. Oh, control. Your controlled variable is correct. All right, Ethan, where are we going?
Evolution.
Evolution 100. This is a trait that helps an organism survive and reproduce.
Six pack.
He's thinking.
My brain.
His brain's dead.
Right, no.
Okay, you want to toss it? Who's gonna catch? Alex.
Adaptation.
Adaptation is right. Alex has.
I knew what it was.
I knew it. I knew it.
I'm doing my project on animal adaptation.
I know.
I knew it. It's just my brain is like. dying.
Fabulous. All right, Bailey.
Comprehending.
What are you going for?
Like being weak. That's how.
You can tell me 49 again.
It's 42.
Wait a bit.
Oh.
I can't hear Bailey over y'all.
Trying to get-
Evolution 200. All right. A whale's pelvis is an example of this. Ooh, that's a good one. Let Bailey think.
Oh.
Michael just suddenly knew it came to it. No? You want to toss it? Who's going to catch? Michael, you going to catch?
I forgot what it's called. I know what it is. I know what it is, but I forgot what
I
it's
remember. I
called.
saw it.
Alex?
Vestigial
A vestigial
Vestigial.
structure. What's another vestigial structure?
Your third eyelid.
Appendix.
Your appendix. That's a good one.
Yeah, we have your side eyelid.
Yes, we do have vestigial third eyelid. Y'all are hilarious.
So we're taught 100 years.
All right, Alex, it's on you.
Let's finish off evolution.
Evolution 300. Change in a species over a long period of time is called this.
Genetic drift, evolution, genetics. Well, evolution.
That's your answer. That's an easy one. Good job. All right, Shannon. Oh, she's writing. She didn't even hear me call her name.
Sorry, I heard you.
Shannon, what's your birthday?
July 11th.
July 11th. What's your favorite color?
Red.
Okay, what are you picking?
There you go.
We made progress. We made so much progress and
I know.
and it dropped.
Plants for 200.
Plants for 200. This phylum of seedless vascular plants. We did this one. Did we do this one?
No.
Oh.
It's-
Includes mosses. Oh, that's right. Mosses, liverworts, and hornworts. So this is seedless. Oh, this should say non-vascular. That's the problem.
Oh.
I need to edit this one. Seedless, non-vascular plants. So what are our seedless, non-vascular plants that are mosses, liverworts, and hornworts? You remember the phylum? Toss it. Who's gonna catch it? Nobody? Oh, come on, bryophyta.
Oh.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
I would not guess.
You're just there like, I hate plants.
I hate plants. I do.
Any trees outside Shannon's house.
Genetics for 2. Typically, males possess these sex chromosomes, while females possess these sex chromosomes.
I'm gonna burn after this.
Come on, let Piper answer.
Specifically humans?
Pretty much all
What?
mammals.
I know them. I'm trying to figure out which one.
Nah, just say them however you want to say it, as long as you know 'em.
X, Y, and X, X.
Yeah, which one goes with which? Oh, that's what she's stuck on. Oh. Jack, help her out.
XX is female, XY.
There you go. Yep. XX female, XY is male. There are exceptions. You can get an extra X over here or whatnot. You can have Turner syndrome, things of that sort. All right.
I think my ear is bleeding.
Thanks for the announcement.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Don't wipe it on my couch or pillows and we're good. Jack, what are we going for?
We are going for. Non-chordate part 1 to 100.
Non-chordate part 1, 100.
100.
This phylum demonstrates why chordate is a more accurate term than vertebrate. This is the big one. You got to know this phylum.
What are all not there?
It's a specific phylum. You can tell me what animals are in it. I'll be like, yeah, you're close. But you're going to need to tell me the phylum.
Why did I pick non-chordate? Alex. Okay, so. If I remember correctly, it's chondrichthyes. Not
It is
that,
chondrichthyes. Very good.
And that
Chondrichthyes. Phylum chondrichthyes.
That's
chondrichthyes.
Yeah, he wants to go. All right.
Also changed.
So now we are up to Sydney. Where are we going, Miss Sydney?
Let's take it.
Yeah, he will. You love on him.
Oh, it's so fast.
Okay, Sid's fit.
Sydney says human body systems, part 1 for 200.
That's for 100.
200.
This system,
200.
oh, wait, I'm sorry. 200. This system is responsible for the transportation of oxygen, nutrients, and hormones throughout the body and for the elimination of cellular metabolic waste. Whoa.
And you turn part of it into sausage.
What?
I hope not.
Like, dead, oh, come on.
That's disgusting. Hang on, let Sydney answer.
Alex, what did you say?
One sausages. It's a British thing.
Yeah, they're not very good. Adam,
Most British things are.
do you know, Sydney, or do you want me to toss it?
At least food.
All British things are bad.
She says circulatory system. And she's pretty right. We're gonna go cardiovascular, but yes, that's circulatory. If you put that, I would check it as correct. Very good.
You can have an
All
English
right,
breakfast without
Miss
what's
Savannah. Yes, you can. Where are we going, Miss Savannah? Still, the baked beans for breakfast is a weird thing they do.
But,
Super
I mean,
weird.
Eggs-
Baked beans
eggs
8
been
times a
mixed
day,
up.
I would not complain about,
Yeah, but they don't give you that every morning. They give you baked beans. It's strange.
but. I mean,
Human body systems, part 2, 100 for Savannah. This system allows for the initiation and regulation of vital body functions, sensation, and body movements. Ooh, this one's tricky. Initiation and regulation of vital body functions, sensation, and body movements. Wait a minute, Savannah's answering. I see you're funny.
He's like, you're not low enough. He's like, let me move.
See if she's got it. You got it, or you want me to toss it, Savannah? Wait a minute, give her a second.
When in doubt, Google it out.
She's like, yeah, hang on. She says nervous system, and she's right. Way to go, Savannah. Kicking it, my friend. All right, James.
It's my turn. It is your turn.
He's too busy petting the dog. Where are we going?
Let's see. Birds and mammals, 300.
Birds and mammals, 300. Is it bothering you over there that genetics is not finished, Alex? Are you like OCD over it? Okay. Due to the lack of this organ, marsupial offspring are born small and undeveloped, requiring further growth and development in their mother's pouch before they are ready for the outside world. What organ do marsupials lack? Oop. You got it, man. Placenta is correct. Very good. Very good. Yes. All right, Michael.
300 genetics.
All right, who's gonna make you happy, Alex? An organism with a heterozygous genotype will express the dominant form of this. Express, there's your key word in there.
Oh. It's like property, but it's not quite. Yo, James, what are you doing?
He's doing
Is it? Heterozygous means, oh, phenotype.
Phenotype, you got it. It took you a minute, but you got, I knew you had it. That's why I was waiting. I'm like, I can see the gears turning. I can smell the smoke over here. It's coming. All right, Cole, where are we going?
Dude, body systems part 1.
Body systems part 1 for what? 3. Oops, that's not the right one. Hold on. This is it. This system allows for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the body and air. There you go. That's an easy one. Respiratory system. Awesome. Ethan,
Animal behaviors.
what was the number?
1. Sorry, I'm having a stroke.
I spent the last 5 days with the man who's had a stroke. You kind of do look like that. Okay. This is the process by which an animal decreases or stops its response to a repetitive stimulus that neither rewards nor harms the animal.
That one wasn't me this time.
Nope. Look at his eyes. Like he's trying really hard.
My brain is good at work.
Yeah.
Also, how is it? I don't know if this is easy or not. I don't know if this is worth it. I don't know.
Okay, you want to toss it? Toss, James. Habituation. Yeah. Basically, all these words means get used to it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Deal with
Bailey.
it. Walk it off.
Human body systems 1. She's going to finish out human body systems. This system provides mechanical support, posture, and locomotion.
Walk it off. Missing foot, too bad.
Handstand 12 feet.
Yep. Skeletal system is right, or muscular skeletal system. Yep, you could go either way. Good deal. Oh, where?
Skeletal.
Skeletal. You got it. Good, good.
Skeletal.
I think everybody's gonna have brownies by next week. All right, Alex, we're up.
Plants for 300.
Plants for 3.
You're so reluctant.
This type of vascular plant tissue is primarily involved in transporting water and minerals from the roots to the shoots and leaves and providing structural support.
What is xylem?
What is xylem? He says, and he is right. Shannon, what's your favorite color again? Red. Okay. What's your address?
No,
All right. Where are we going?
I don't even know you're showing up at my house.
That's right. Cole, zip it.
Litter bomb.
I don't know anything about that. Fish, amphibians, and reptiles. 200.
Fish, amphibians, reptiles, 200. Squamata.
Nope.
The largest order of reptiles contains lizards and these organisms.
Are those things?
Yeah, those things, Alex. They are those things.
Are those things those
All right,
things? Are those
order of
things?
reptiles.
Those ones? Yes, Jack, you understand.
Biggest order, largest order, lizards and when you think of reptiles, what do you think of?
Snake.
Snakes. Girl, you got it. Lizards and snakes.
I was thinking of the snake, lizard, hydra, really snake.
Yeah. All right, Piper.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah.
Those.
Microbiology is 200.
All right, micro, 200. Cole, antibiotics are used to fight these type of infections. She says viral. It's going to be the other bacterial. That's why if you have strep, you can get some penicillin to fix it. But if you have a cold, you just got to wait it out. All right, let's go, Jack. John, what are we doing with John?
I was devoted a long time ago. I haven't really been able to rise up from it. We'll go animal behaviors for 2.
Animal behaviors 2.
Yeah. I'm not
All right. In this type of learning, a certain stimulus comes to produce a particular response, usually through an association with a positive or negative experience.
Yes, I think.
So there's a certain stimulus,
This was like a day
you
ago.
get a particular response.
This was some of that.
This was unit 7, not 8.
Wasn't it, the
I remember, it's not.
This is what your mom does if she's potty training you or your little sibling, and she gives you an M&M every time you use the potty.
She still knows that.
like
Anger.
She still does that.
Straight anger.
Got a guess?
Reward.
Reward, no, Cole, did you have one?
One of the conditionings, is it classical or operant or those?
You got it. Classical conditioning. Very good. I think that psychology class paid off. Yeah, all right.
Well, I.
Okay, Miss Sydney, what are we picking?
I got 220.
Sydney's gonna pick, Sydney's gonna pick.
5 times that.
I know. I got 200.
I don't know who this dude is, but he's constantly
You
messaging.
don't stop.
All right, animal behaviors, 300. Sydney's gonna kill this category. This type of learning occurs when an animal applies to a new situation, something that it has learned previously in another context. Ah, what's this one? So you apply to a new situation, something you learned in another
So
context.
POV.
Oh, no.
You're about to die.
Give her a minute and then we'll see if anybody knows.
Yeah.
You can always just write toss if you don't know, or you can type in your answer either way.
You were like a turtle. You were so distracted. I just looked over.
I had this teacher who used to do spelling. She used to do spelling reviews by playing baseball. She'd put us on teams, and when you were up to bat, she'd throw a word at you. And if you spelled it right, you got to first base. And your team would go around first base, second base. Oh, wait, she got an answer.
Sounds like
Learn
the worst
behavior,
thing
she
ever.
says. And it's going to be
Not great.
insight learning. So it's a type of learning, but it's insight learning because you have insight. You've done it before. But anyway, we play spelling baseball, and she'd set up the desks, and you'd go first, first base, second base. And then when you got home, she'd give you a point. But if you missed it, she'd say pop fly. And anyone on the other team could raise their hand and give the answer. It was so fun. And I didn't love spelling, but I love spelling baseball.
It sounds fun.
All right, what's up next? Savannah, what are we going for?
I hate spelling.
I don't love spelling,
I know
but
spelling.
spelling baseball was fun. She made it fun.
I'm so glad I have autocorrect for the text, or I would be so bad.
I don't like spelling notes. I don't care.
Okay.
Oh.
Savannah is going to finish off plants. Alex, you can be happy now. I saw you staring at Jack when he didn't pick it.
I'm gonna do.
All right, here we go, Savannah. Angiosperms have unique reproductive organs known as these. Ah. Slench. Give her a second answer.
I was so mumbled up, but I feel
I did.
Elephants.
Elephant.
It's like you're the Joker or something.
Angiosperms definitely do not have elephants.
I wanna hear a tree with all
What if they're
five
ninja
sides.
elephants and they're just really?
Flowers. She says flowers, and she's right. Yay, Savannah.
Unique.
Good job. Well, they're unique to angiosperms, and they're unique to the species. All right, James, where are we going? Micro. 100, just to leave a category hanging for Alex. Viruses cannot reproduce without the assistance of this, James, a host. Got it. Okay, stay with me a few more, guys. All right, Michael, what's up?
300.
Micro, 300. Any organism that can cause disease within the body is known as this.
No.
Foreign organism.
Nope. Toss.
Yes.
Alex? Pathogen's a word we're looking for. Yes.
Because it translates to bringer of suffering.
Yep.
Does it have to be an organism though? Can a pathogen be a non-living?
Yeah,
Yeah, it has to pretty much be I think it pretty much has to be an organism, though I'm not 100% positive.
Can it be like
This is like a
All right,
blade.
Cole, what's up?
I know, right? Let's do fungi, 300.
Fungi, 300. Mushrooms, the portion of a particular fungus which can be seen above the ground is known as this. What do you see above the ground? But what is that?
You know what it's called?
What part of the fungus is it?
You do know the sternum is.
Ethan thinks you know.
Yeah.
All right, Ethan.
Is it the fruiting body?
Is it the fruiting body? It is a fruiting body.
Good job.
All right, Bailey. Oh, no, Ethan again. Sorry, Ethan.
Fish, amphibians, and reptiles for 100.
All right. This order, Testodine. contains aquatic organisms we call turtles. What we call the land dwelling version of these organisms this.
Is it just reptiles?
No, specifically your intestine. We call the aquatic ones turtles. What do we call the land dwelling ones? Tortoise, that's right.
Slow brain still.
Bailey,
So brain food.
Slow brain work.
A broken clock's work.
birds and mammals for which? 100. Okay, y'all, let Bailey get an answer here. This is the only North American marsupial. North American. We have one marsupial. What is it? Nope, not here in this country, Shannon. Virginia possum.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was
All right.
I got it.
Alex.
My name.
You're gonna take this one, aren't you? Because you can't stand it. Okay. Birds and mammals, 200. All mammals feed their young milk, which is produced and expelled by these glands. Mammary glands. Y'all are missing answers. Mammary glands is what we're looking for. Shannon.
No, they don't just have small ducts from it. That would be very.
Wait, let Shannon pick.
What's your favorite color?
Not red. Non-coordinates for 100. The second one.
Non-chordates 2 for 100.
Yes.
Okay.
What? I don't know.
The name of this phylum means spiky skin. Many of its members, move by means of a water vascular system. What's spiky skin?
Am I trying to name the thing?
What's the phylum?
Oh, the file.
Anybody want to toss? Catch. Catch. Michael? No. Echinodermata. Spiny skin. Echinodermata. All right. Piper. All right. The reproductive cells of a fungus are called what? Ooh.
Is it supposed to be called fun? Oh, you missed. There's a brownie point. You put K instead of R.
Oh yeah, I'll fix that.
What do you fungi care about?
What do you think there? What is it? Any guess? Toss, catch, Alex.
Spore.
Spore is Alex caught. Moving on. All right, Jack, you pick, and then I'm gonna give you all together the last 4. Jack?
I'm gonna choose not to do fungi. Let's do.
Jack, can you come over here real quick?
No, I'm good. I'll do non-coordinates part 1 for 200.
All right. Some animals, such as the sea anemone, exhibit this type of symmetry in which body parts extend from a central point.
Oh, I No, that's not. I know what it is.
Nope. Toss. Cole?
Wait.
Yeah, you had it.
Radio, right?
Radio. All right, I'm gonna read the last 4 and we'll do them all together. I'm gonna go here so Alex doesn't lose his mind.
Darn it.
Some types of fungi give off a light, a process known as this. Bioluminescence. Very good. I want some in my backyard because they're cool. Also, not to make Alex go crazy, non-chordates. The most successful animal groups exhibit this type of symmetry in which a single imaginary plane divides the body into left and right sides, mirror images.
Bilateral.
Bilateral is correct. All right, let's do 200 here. This phylum contains organisms such as lobsters and bumblebees.
What?
Yeah,
Arthropoda?
there you go. Arthropoda was on there twice because it's very diverse. And our last one, roundworms. The most abundant organisms on our planet fall into this phylum. Anybody besides Alex want to go?
Is the one from Justin's house.
Most abundant
5 minutes ago.
organisms on our planet. Nope, that's segmented worms.
Oh.
Platyhelminths are flat, and Annelida are segmented. These are round.
I remember you talking about this. Like this.
Alex,
I thought it was Annelida because
Nope.
of one of the previous questions.
nematodes. Gotta watch those nematodes. All right, do your Jeopardy. Do your slideshows. Watch your videos, right? All the above, and you will be good to go. Later. Oh, we had one more chat. What were they saying? Nematode, Sydney knew. I missed you, Sydney. Way to go. All right. Just take some coins. I don't care. Later, girls. See you next week. Oh, yeah, you figured it out. If you want some candy, here's some candy too. You can dig in there. I'm not gonna eat all that.
The gum was weird.
It's weird, but it's not bad gum. Yeah, it's just very strange.
For my efforts.
Yeah, take some coins. I don't care.
Miss Danny,
Yes, sir.
I did send my lab 30 through.
What is it? Oh, I saw something from you.
Okay.
I just didn't grade it yet, but I did see something from you, and so I know it's there. All right.
Bring them on.
Do I still have?
Yes. Okay. Alright.
Most of the twists, except for one. I was confused on what tense I was supposed to use. So I was like, no, that's not good.
That'd be helpful.
Okay,
Here, you
one
just do
hundred.
the participle. So you don't need, because this makes it the present perfect. So that, and just make
That's
sure.
two.
Some of them are.
Asylum of surplus and non-vascular
That
plants.
first one is wrong.
Two
And you have to
right
make sure with
there.
those participles, you have to make sure, to gender agree. Yes, so do you want?
Miss Danny,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have a pencil sharpener?
Quiz grade? Okay. Your vote.
Yep. Kind of addicting, isn't it? You could do it all day. So it gets like super sharp because it lights up. Woohoo, it's fun. Thank you, ma'am. All right.
Bye, Miss Danny.
Bye, sweetie. See you later.
The email I have to redo,
Yes.
and then
The email, in the future tense, yes, and then the news article. You should be.
and then the.
Yes.
And then it's just the participle.
Oh, is there one more from her?
Yes, and make sure gender agrees.
Bye.
Gender and, number.